College group that hosts Rick Santorum demands sensitivity training to teach gays respect. Is that the way it really was? No, it was kind of the opposite. At George Washington University, they are requiring student leaders of campus clubs and this type of thing to go through sensitivity training for gays and lesbian transgendered, not the other way around. Now, this group, the Young Americas Foundation, they objected, and they said that they should get a religious exemption from participating in the training. And there was quite a backlash about that. For this, a LGBT organization or club on campus referred to them as a cancer, said they should be labeled as a hate group, that their refusal to use gender-preferred pronouns should be considered an act of violence and a violation of non-discrimination clause required by all at the George Washington University. Yes, an act of violence simply if you refer to somebody by their birth gender and not the one that they would prefer. So why would this liberal source Raw story say that, as the headline, that it's the college group, the Young Americas Foundation, that is requiring or asking for sensitivity training? And this was picked up by the Young Turks, which is a channel on YouTube that just butchered the story. Here's actually, they're actually even going to read what the Young Americas Foundation, some leader there said, and they still can't get it right.
Why is there not sensitivity training for gay and liberal groups to respect the free speech rights of other groups on campus? Why has the Student Association not considered similar training to teach students to respect those who believe in traditional marriage?
And you can see the title of the video, Gay Students Ordered to Take Christian Sensitivity Training. No, they never proposed that. Notice, it's question marks. You know, why not? Well, you can't highlight things in here, but yeah, it's just a question mark. They're just saying, hey, if this idea of sensitivity training is so good, why aren't we doing it for everybody on campus? How about the people so that they'll respect others' free speech? How about so that they'll respect others' views about marriage? Well, of course, ironically, the sensitivity training turns out to be insensitivity training. The people putting this on never considered, aren't sensitive to the considerations of others, just themselves only. It turns out the training is the opposite of what it intends to be. Now, they've asked for this exemption, and maybe it's because they feel that it's going to be more of an indoctrination session than a sensitivity training session, and that may be. Well, I have a couple thoughts. Number one, I think that they should go to the training. I don't think they have a grounds for a religious objection, even as a religious person. I don't think that, and this is a Christian club, and there's nothing in the Bible that says you can't hear somebody's propaganda about their point of view. You could look at it as an opportunity. I'm sure, since they're sensitive, that they are going to have a question time afterwards. How do you feel about the training? Do you have any questions? Do you have any input? And that they're going to really want to hear everybody's opinion, since they are so sensitive. And at that point, you could bring out the point that if it is an indoctrination session, then why is it that, it's good to be sensitive towards others, and in no way that people should be insensitive towards LGBT people, but does that mean that you have to try to convince us that it's okay? Does that mean to teach us to be sensitive towards others, that you have to try to indoctrinate us in your point of view? I mean, if let's just say they were to have some sensitivity training towards religious people, does that mean that they would have to teach them that Christianity and Islam is true? Or could they just say, hey, these people have different religious beliefs and you just respect them? Okay, don't call them hateful or stupid or other different things all the time. All right, that's all it would take. So take it as an opportunity. You can ask these questions. If you don't get the chance to ask the questions, then you can always file a complaint, or you can write something in the student newspaper about how the sensitivity training went beyond its stated goals. Now, maybe Young America's Foundation is concerned that their people will be swayed by this session, and perhaps it will be, because oftentimes Christians don't know much more about this issue than marriage is between a man and a woman. That's what the Bible says. And obviously, the world isn't taking too well to just that. And there's a lot more that can be said. There's a whole lot more, which is what we provide at simpleministries.org. All sorts of resources about, for example, here about shoving your religion and sexual orientation, born gay, makes it okay. It answers far more questions than just the simple things about marriage and what the Bible says. It addresses those things, but much more. And the thing is not to back off from the challenge, but to meet the challenge, to get prepared, and then engage. And so that's what I think that that would be the best course for the Young America's Foundation's folks to do. And because if they don't, they're just going to let these folks get the better of them, because they're going to get their funding cut as a student organization if they don't participate. And like I said, I don't think that there's anything against their faith in doing so. In fact, I think it's an opportunity for them, and that's the way they should look at it.